gave us an entire calendar table relevant for our data set, right? Similarly, sir was mentioning R is a very, very important language to learn. If you see, R is also like Excel only. It's not a programming tool. R is a statistical language. It's a statistical language. So what R will have is similar to how we are calling Excel functions, DAX, mQuery. Like that, R is also having syntaxes. Like for example, we are having pricing algorithm. Ola has pricing algorithm. Or let's say we are having NBFCs. We are having early warning systems, right? Early warning systems where you want to detect whether this is a credit risk high or not, whether I have to give loan to this person. These are all we are telling predictive data models. So how much lines of code do you think we have to write for building a machine learning model to predict early warning system?
Depends on so many variables.
See, variables is independent of code. See, variables depending on data set, it's like you put comma and write. Sum is a function. You can count 10 lakh rows or 10 rows. Same. Sum is one function. So if you see, linear regression has only one function in R, which is called LM. Okay. Then if your output is not number based, but if it is going to be text based, then you need to follow logistic regression. Okay, true false decision like that and all. So for that it is GLM. GLM put to open bracket, there will be three syntax, comma, 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 and put your variables, close bracket, that is the model. But the thing there is, we have to decide the degree of independence, degree of dependence, see whether our data is giving true positives. True positives, na correct answers. It should predict correctly, it should not predict wrongly. So we will do testing and training. Training, testing. First time I will put with few variables, training. Then I will test whether outputs are matching. Then again I will train, I will test. But the methodology is tedious and may require 100 lines of iterations, but the code is only one syntax. So when we are talking about the context whether auditors should learn programming, programming is not difficult at all. If you are using Excel formulas, then that is equal to programming in programming language. We will be calling libraries, we will be calling functions. It is going to be same. R is also will be like a calculator, like Excel only. You put formula one place, output will come one place. So I am just trying to differentiate and trying to visualize how different programming languages will work and how we are also how we can match it. Okay. So in Power Query when you write a formula, it's mQuery. Okay. In Power BI when you write a formula, it's DAX. So in DAX and mQuery also, mQuery is what you are writing, M language in Power Query. There will be lot of repetitions. Like now you change the format of date in DAX, right? Same thing you can do in Power Query also. Calendar table you built in DAX. There is similar calendar function in mQuery also. So you should not get confused. Okay? Based on our convenience, we can use anything. Okay? So generally as a best practice, what I personally follow is anything modifying source data. Okay, anything that you want to clean in the source data. Okay, add columns also, conditional columns or any calculated columns. We can do it in Power Query itself. Okay, that will load first time itself. That is, once you connect your data, refresh your query, it will load. All other things like measures what we saw dimensions, right? We can have multi-dimensional analysis in data analytical tools. So for that, when we are writing like sum, count, max, min, some logical operator, when you are writing some functions, all that you can write in DAX. But both are simple only. Okay. So now system is ready. So we'll go and see quickly how from the ETL process which we have already seen, we can quickly build some reports. Okay. Yeah. So how we can quickly build some reports we can see. I'll show you, since we are highly in need of time now, we'll just see with the test data, and I'll show you how different data work and how easy it is to work with the data. Okay, so I'm just going to open a new file and I'm going to connect to a purchase register. Okay, so I just went to get data, Excel I'm going to select and I'm going to connect, and I have this simple purchase register. Okay, so whenever we are working in Tally or any ERP, I think you also would have worked with ERPs also, right? Small ERPs, SAP B1 or any other bespoke systems which is custom built for your client, etc. So what happens is, ledger scrutiny takes time more in other applications than Tally. In Tally, you are having lot of confidence. There actually you will go to each ledger, you know how to see, you will put date filters, you know if data is wrong, how you have to see and all. But when you go to other ERPs, actually this journal entry testing or GL scrutiny itself is a little tough process. Okay, so for those aspects we can use this data analysis tools like Google Sheets, which was shown by Karthik, and what we are doing now, where we can have fixed parameters to test the data. Okay, and we are performing all the analytical procedures outside the system. So that way we'll be able to have one constant system for doing GL scrutiny. Then most importantly, we are having trail of what we have done. In Tally, when you do GL scrutiny, you don't have trail of what all you went and saw. When your junior says that I have completed GL scrutiny, let's say he is coming with 2 observations, I am sure when you do, you will come up with 20 observations. There is no fixed quality for that, right? So that's the place where these type of automations or programs or analytical procedures are going to help. So this data is having some simple columns like vendor code, vendor name, PO, payment terms, amount, okay, value, tax, total and all. So this is the same Power Query interface. What I did, once I loaded the data, I went to transform instead of load. I am in the Power Query data. So now if you see, there are 2 things, untitled. One is Power BI desktop, one is Power Query editor. Okay. So in Power Query editor, important thing, I have all the trail of all the steps we have done. Okay. What automatically Power BI has done steps, all that is there. Now I see there is value, that is purchase value is there. Tax is there, total is there. Now let's say you want to identify per unit cost. Okay, so any analysis you want to have common base, right? So you cannot compare anything with value, you have to compare with per unit value. So what I am going to do, let's say I want to calculate value divided by quantity. Yes, let's test your Power Query knowledge. How should we do that? Based on your session, we are testing the audience. Add a column, custom column. So next I'll come why we are all learning Power BI today. Okay, Power BI is a tool, very user friendly. Okay, 80% of audit related work, okay, I'll say even more than 80% of audit related work we can do without writing any formulas. Okay, because it will auto detect relationships, it will automatically promote headers, and more than 80% of all the things you need are available in the menus on top. Okay, so you have transform tab, add column tab, view tab. Okay, so you are going to use only the first 2 tabs, or home tab is actually a summary of the all of the above. Okay, home tab is like summary. You can right click and use the data, you can take from home tab, or you can go to add column tab. Okay, and the madri, it's like a potpourri only. Home tab is like a potpourri. Now transform tab, what it will do, like for example I'll show you. Transform tab also has split columns, format, statistical functions, standard and all. Now if you go to add column, there also you will have standard, statistics, format, merge column, conditional column. What is the difference? when you take something from transform tab, it will transform the data in that column itself. If you pick the same menu from the add column tab, okay, it will do the calculation, it will create a new column and do the calculation. Okay, so now what I am going to do to calculate per unit cost is, I am going to just press control key, click value, quantity, and I am going to add column tab, standard. Okay, there are some statistical functions and arithmetical functions. I am going to divide. So my division has come as a new column. Okay, so in Power Query we can do lot of such functions. Like for example, let's say we do some date test. After work from home it is little less relevant, but still date test is very important for us, because okay, period closure entries are fine. All others you need to have some control, right? When those are passed, because now audit trail is there, you want to know midnight entries passed, someone trying to manipulate books, all that is there, right? So now let's say you want to calculate from this which day of the week it is, or which quarter it is. How you would have done in Excel, or how you will generally do? Yes?
Only pivot table
Okay, pivot table choosing date format, but that will create one more table. In this table I want to do filter. I am telling we need to create one more column which is day of week. That is whether it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Change the date format.
Change the date format. So I can change the date format from transform column. Instead of that I go to add column. I will go, I am already selected pivot date. Yellow color, if you are having highlight, it is selected. You go to date and you give, here lot of things are there. Entire calendar table which we started to build, right? That can be done through menus itself. So you have year, month, day, week, day and all. So day la poitu, I am selecting name of the day. So you don't have to complicate one for Monday, two for Tuesday. Instead you put name of the day. You get the name of the day as new column. Okay. Now let's say end of month. You need end of month, right? Which all is pertaining to this month. So same like that you can calculate end of month. So entire calendar hierarchy, date hierarchy, no? The entire date hierarchy you can build. So I'm not going to build everything, but I'm just showcasing you how we can use this very, very, very effectively, because it's very, very user friendly. Everything is menu driven. Okay. So sir was telling, I'll say how we can train others like that. Training others, we learn a lot. That is the first thing. Next is, where do you think trainers learn? I think all of you, I think most of you don't have teaching experience, because I reviewed the Google form which you submitted initially. A few of you are having training experience already. More than 50% of the crowd here are not having training experience. In that privilege, I am telling, being faculty for a few years, I am also very young, but still young compared to you. Not in general. So, as Ratnagiri sir told, it's only curiosity. I learned entire Power BI only from YouTube. Okay, that also you may know how to search and all. If you are aware, there's something called as MVP. Microsoft gives someone category. Okay, one award they give, calling them as most valuable person. Okay, these are given to people who are contributing to public. Okay, when they are giving correct information to public and they are doing it consistently and they are adding value to their product, they are giving this award. You search for Power BI MVP, Excel MVP, subscribe to few of their channels. Mostly they will put videos every week. This itself you will learn everything what is coming new. Okay, so Power BI as a business we are doing for last 6 years. Okay, and my first assignment was, see, I am good at marketing. Okay, first assignment, I am like just new. First we decided on to go to a tool called Tableau. Okay, Tableau was also open source previously. Like Power BI has different versions. We have Power BI desktop version which we are using now. Okay, there is something called as Power BI Pro, which is a licensed version. Then enterprise, okay, server license, where you can have multi-users, multi-hierarchy, like a ERP itself, you can use a reporting tool, okay. So server is very costly, it's like more than 20 lakhs plus like that, but Power BI Pro is cheap only, it's around 8,000 per annum. But Power BI Desktop is more than sufficient for audit purpose, because we don't want to put data in Power BI Cloud, we don't want to share data with anyone. It's better if it is saved to our office system only. Desktop version is a single user version, you cannot actually collaborate and work, okay. So desktop is a convenient version. So we saw some of the advantages of Power BI, then Tableau became licensed, okay. It was 60,000 per month, per annum, this was 8,000 per annum. We chose and we dropped Tableau, we took Power BI. I went and marketed, and to my surprise, it was a very, very large listed company which agreed to give the assignment, okay. And they were willing to pay very good price also for it. So just 3 nights without sleeping, I worked and I learned Power BI end to end. You won't believe, till today I am running every class with the things I learned only in the 3 days. I have not done too much upskilling, but I have team now. We are training team, I have guided team how to do. Now we have built lot of dashboards. I'll show you the dashboards and all. Okay, some of the dashboards I'm going to share, and I'm going to show you how to reuse dashboards, how we can standardize things and how we can reuse dashboards, okay. So why I'm doing this marketing? I'm not nowhere related to Power BI or Microsoft. I'm not even partner for Microsoft product, but this tool makes our life so easy. Like I have made all my clients have approval to download Power BI Desktop in their system, because without Power BI, I find it's very difficult to do any analysis, because in Power BI we do multi-dimensional analysis, okay. That is not like Power Pivot, multiple tables you are pivoting in one table, not like that. One table you are able to see 10 reports at the same time. I'll show you now. So we saw now how we can build extra columns and all without any formulas, right. Now I'll go to home tab. I am giving close and apply. What this step will do is, it will close Power Query and open Power BI Desktop. So if I give apply, what will happen? Power Query will not close, Power Query will be open here, but my Power BI Desktop will load the changes. So I'll explain why this is happening. As we discussed, Power Query is a ETL tool. It's a data extraction tool, okay. So Power Query is a separate tool and Power BI Desktop is a separate tool. So whatever ETL procedure you are doing in Power Query, okay, you should, once you complete, you have to load it to Power BI Desktop. It will move, okay. You can fix auto refresh also. For live feed, when you do, you can give auto refresh up to like 60 seconds, immediately it will refresh for all live data. Like Saran sir told, we can have TV. Lot of our clients we have implemented. They'll have one small TV where daily sales, daily purchases, like salesman performances, employee performances, different metrics depending on the industry we can define, where they can have live update, okay. So we have to close and apply. Once we do this, we are coming to Power BI Desktop screen. So here already you have seen something relating to relationships. So this will take time. If loading, let's say you are working with 10 crore line items. That loading may take 20 minutes. Okay. So if you are going to work with larger data size, it is going to increase that loading time. But Power Query as such, when you work, it will be fast only. Power BI Desktop as such, when you work, it will be decent speed. But that loading will take time depending on the volume of data. Okay. So already we have seen something in relationship. Currently I am having only one data table, so I am not going for relationships. This is my data view. So whatever data I have loaded will come here. Now let's say I want to build a simple dashboard now. Purchase la I have created unit price now. Let's say I want to create price variance. I want to see same product at what all prices they have purchased. How I can do that? So what I will do, let's say I will take item code first. Item code is going to make my product unique. Okay, I think I need magnifier. Okay. Mandesha. Okay, so what I have done, first we have taken item code. Next I am going to take values. We created one of what was that division. I didn't rename it, still we'll use that directly. I am going to use it twice. I am just dragging and dropping. Okay. So now what is happening? By default it is showing 2 times the same value. Okay. In Power BI there is something called as implicit measure. Okay, implicit measure. What is implicit measure is something like in your pivot you will have values like same like that. What you can do is inge poite, this is the place where actually I can drag and drop. This is the place I have dragged and dropped this division thing. So let's say I am deleting one. Yes, there is a small drop down. In this drop down I will give max. In this drop down I will give min. So now what happened, instead of that value being amount, it has gone to maximum and minimum. Wherever it's the same price or it's only one time that amount is appearing, then it will come once. If there is a change, your maximum and minimum value are going to come. But when you see like this, you have to manually scroll for all the items. Let's say the company is having 20,000 item codes. Okay, we have to scroll for all the items. Instead what I am going to do, I am going to actually put a chart. For that I am just clicking. See, this is selected. This is the field that is selected. I will just go on the magnifier konja close pandren. So this is the table. It's selected. I am just clicking chart. It will change. So ipo enna avuduna, now what has happened? Okay, since my screen is small, it is creating scroll. Okay. Now what has happened? It is thrown a chart, okay, for all the item codes wherever it is variance. So now this 1 product, 2 product, 3 product, 4 product. 4 products are my exceptions which are showing variance. All others both are same. Okay. Inge pathina you can see this is the product code min and max. Thumbnail is available. Thumbnail is available. But you as an auditor you want to see data behind it. Which invoice number, what is the total value of purchase, all that you want to know. So now in Excel means how you will do? You have to create a new pivot table. And this pivot table to that pivot table, if you want to do VLOOKUP, then you have to do pay special values, then create lookup, then create calculated field, all that. So now in Power BI what I will do, I will just click outside. Now this chart is selected, I will click outside. Then what I am going to do, I am going to populate PO date, particular vendor name, okay, and the total quantity purchased, total value purchased. So now what I have created one visual, okay, where I am having, again I will go to the magnifier, okay, where I am having some quantitative information for my audit. Okay, so now let's say I am going to click here. It is going to show me that 2 POs alone which are dealing with this overlap function. That 2 POs alone which are dealing with the variance. So each time I have purchased here 75,000 quantity, 77,000 quantity at this price. Unit price also I can populate. Unit price was division, right? So here unit price was 4,96,000, their unit price was 4,48,000. Okay. Now let's say I want to have one more matrix. I want to see throughout the year how much each product has they have purchased. What I will do, I will just create one more chart here. So this dashboard is going to enable me not very much used to using this magnifier. Okay. So what this dashboard is going to allow me is create multiple charts. So now let's say I want to put a date filter. Okay, I am putting PO date. Okay, and I am just going to see as soon as I pop in PO date, what is happening here in my columns. I will just show you. So all this time I was dropping directly in dashboard. So actually we can drop here in the values. This is the place actually it will come. So now if you see automatically date hierarchy has come. Year, month, quarter, date and all. So currently I haven't built the calendar table. This is the raw purchase data. So what I am going to do, I am just going to keep month. All other date is going to be skewed for me. So what I will do, month wise total value of purchases I am going to add. And let's say only May month data is there. We'll see amount. Yeah, I think only May month data is there. Okay. But if data is there for all month, it will show a tree map or whatever data is there for each month. And I can filter in that month what was the data. Okay. So month wise if you want to do analysis. Okay. Month wise you want to do, or a particular date cutoff procedure you want to do. You can actually filter as a list on the particular date. Like that you can create different filter contexts. Okay. And you can build multiple dashboards. Okay. It's already 6 o'clock. So we'll just go through some of the dashboards, and now I'll say you why these dashboards are useful. So now I'll show you here. I have done one thing for JE testing. Okay. Journal entry testing. So what was my source data? My source data was expense dump, indirect expenses dump. Okay. So what I had done, I have done lot of different analysis, did some functions. It's a one-time activity. I have built some period analysis. So this is one dashboard which is having, let's say here I have different document type. Okay. Let's say I am selecting invoice. For invoice there are entries in this days of the week. Okay, this is the monthly flow of the entry. Now let's say I want to see for 1 month, for 5th month alone or 4th month alone, what is the invoice movement. So invoice on April month. Okay, this is the movement of invoice. These are the total invoice that are taken. And this is the period for my analysis, posting date, entry date and all. Okay. So now this is a simple what you call GL scrutiny perspective. Next some more through that was document type based we were doing, no? Here let's say we want to do GL wise. So here there are different GLs. So I think there's some filter here. Okay, invoice is selected, I'm just removing. Okay, so these are this much GLs are there. So each GL one by one you can see. So let's say segment clearing, city or some power expenses, one GL if you take, that GL how it has moved across the months, how the expenses have moved. What are the total invoices in that. So actually we are doing multi-dimensional analysis in one data set in one dashboard. So this is the power of visualization. Like if we are seeing the same thing in text format, it's our imagination that we have to keep thinking what is the pattern, what is the movement, like that. Okay, but here actually we'll be able to directly see. So I have done some statistical parts also for audit, like correlation plot for different GLs. Okay, whether employee GL is related to creditor GL, whether gardening expense. So correlation is basically you are comparing the movement, okay, direction of movement of entries between two GLs. Okay, core plot is a add-in, it's a statistical diagram. Correlation is the statistical measure. Core plot is pictorial representation of the correlation marks. Correlation is generally between minus, not generally, always between -1 to 1. So closer to blue is positive correlation, closer to -1 is negative correlation. Okay, so then box plot is generally for identifying outliers. So in a particular GL, what is the highest number, what is the lowest number, which all GLs are having outliers. Okay, which all GLs are having outliers. So statistically outlier is what? 3 sigma. Anything more than 3 standard deviation is a outlier. So pictorial representation of that is a box plot. Okay, so I know evening too much when you are going, but still I am just showing you what all is possible. So here we have done backdated entries. So backdated entries in Tally it is possible if we are capturing modified date. So now I think yesterday Ramajayam has increased, I mean to say increased few columns to capture last update date, etc. and all. So in this previous version it was not there. So currently in my analysis it's not there. But I'll also update my dashboard for the data points that he has updated, and I'll upload in the Google Drive. So we have posting date, entry date, basis which I can identify backdated entries. So I have written a measure for what is considered as same day entry, what is considered as a backdated entry, what is considered as a delay. So backdated is red. So if I click on the red, okay, I can